Back in Aptrick, progress on the Cruck Barn is good. But will this building site be a venue for Robert's wedding in a few months' time?
We've got quite a lot of the gable end built up. It means we can start putting more of the purlins up on the roof. We've fitted a shoe, which is this piece of timber here, and it's been fixed onto the purlin with hand-carved ash pegs. All the barns in the area have lasted 400 or 500 years with using wooden pegs, so I really don't see why this one shouldn't, you know.
Oh.
Most builders would now let the men with big cranes and machines in.
You can have the heavy end.
Yeah.
But not the Ainsworths.
So if I give you a shout on which colour rope,
Yeah.
we'll push up on that one first.
Yeah, no problem.
OK, mate. When are you ready, Vince? Ready on white. Ready on red.
Right, take slack up.
It's a mammoth operation. But eventually, oak fits into oak
That's it.
perfectly.
Yeah, this one's hammering. I mean, it's 2 men and a bit of rope. It's surprising what you can move.
Isn't it? As the timber dries, it will twist and skew and crack more. Apparently it sounds like a rifle shot when it's drying and a crack opens. There's a loud crack and bang.
Yeah.
As long as it's not during my wedding speech.
While the barn meets all modern building regulations, they're desperate to give the visible parts the character of 500 years ago. So the walls are being created by Vince, one of the Dale's best dry stone wallers.
Something different, fairly unique. Years to come, I'll be able to say I worked on that. A lot of it is fairly rough stone that we're walling with, but it's all stone that was on the site.
It's as local and as natural as it gets, really. We've collected it all from around about our site here. It's undressed, it's all natural stone, and that's produced the old look that we've been striving to achieve.
It's taken a bit of walling with some of it. I have walled with better stone.
The fact that we've got local dry stone wallers has really helped, because they're not steeped in the present modern way of building walls, which is desperately straight, desperately perfect.
We're trying to wall it so you're leaving the old face on the outside all the time. It makes it look older with a bit of moss on. And
While the late summer sun shines, the boys work hard to build the walls so that they can get the thatch roof started and keep the inside dry. With the pressure on and a wedding date soon, do Dad and Son ever fall out?
I've usually come up with some fairly poor ideas from time to time, and my dad's put me right, but there is potential to fall out in every stage of a project like this, but we
haven't done.
No, we haven't done, have we?
No.
We do all right.
I just hit him about the head until he does what I want.
Hey, mate!
High on top of the fells, it's a different world for sheep farmer Roy Nelson.
Hurry up!
He only swapped farming on horseback for a Land Rover a little over 10 years ago. But on his most inhospitable land, Roy prefers 2 feet.
Suppose it's fresh air, and suppose it's what we're used to. Jobs never become work when you don't like doing them. If you like doing them, it didn't work, really. We're coming along Mastiles Lane. That's an old drover's road, and it'll be just as people would drive sheep along here, it passed. It had been made by Romans probably 2,000 years ago. Hey, well, it's one of the main roads from York to Lancaster was over Mastiles Lane. They probably built it for chariot racing. We don't do a lot of that now.
But moving sheep is a bit different this month. 5,000 rainbow travellers from across the world are holding a peace camp on a bit of land between 2 of Roy's fields.
They always come and open my gate, they always put their hand up and they're always friendly. Some of them are meditating, some of them are praying when you go up. Sometimes you'll say one stood on his head.
Hurry,
They aren't right bothered about wearing a lot of clothes a lot of the time. One went past with no on, briefest bikini bottoms on. Then she come back, she painted one tit blue and one tit orange.
But it's a bit cold for that sort of thing today.
And what do you think about it up here?
Well, it's absolutely beautiful, isn't it? Bit too cold, bit too windy.
Yeah.
A lot of us aren't faint-hearted, you see.
Right.
Call ourselves peace warriors. We
Yeah.
don't fight, we just hope to be in peace, but the weather's not giving us much peace, is it?
Hey! What are you cooking there?
You just have to change your attitude to the food. You might not like that so much.
All right. No, that's the only thing I have again. You aren't eating lamb. Most of us vegetarian. You aren't eating our lamb.
Rainbow people get together to share skills, knowledge and love. And Roy's been invited to make a threesome.
And what do you do?
I am an artist.
You're asked.
Like
things with bones,
like this
like
bone
this.
thing
Right.
and so
Or
on.
that one which is hanging there.
And them's just made out of bits of bones that you found.
The big ones are cow bones.
Right.
This is from your sheep's.
That'll be off Swaledale. That'll be off a grey one and that'll be off a white.
Yeah,
Be just natural colour, that.
Yeah.
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 All people in the world would wear wool instead of synthetics. They'd all be able to turn their heating down 2 degrees.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it'd be so much warmer.
Yeah, of course, of course.
It's something rather unusual with that. Some of them looking maybe a bit weird, but they probably just think the same about me when I come up. I'm beginning to think I ought to give up with those sheep and join them.
Back at the barn, Robert and David can start to put a roof on their Cruck Barn. The Dale skyline is one of big and heavy stone slates. But these are, in fact, a fairly modern way of keeping dry.
Well, what we're trying to replicate is the buildings that there were in the Dales before the stone slates first started to arrive in the 1600s. And before that, all the roofs in this area were thatched with ling. And heather was the only thatchable material in this area. So if you didn't have a thatched roof, you didn't have a roof at all because there was no alternative.
Well, this is the ling that we're thatching the roof with. We pull it all out by hand, just from the moors behind us. The heather should last up to 40, 50 years, depending on the weather it gets. And it's going to cover this tin sheet, which helps, well, it's to meet building regulations. And once it's on, I think it's the perfect touch for a building of this kind.
I mean, we want to comply with building regulations as far as insulation is concerned, being waterproof and being fireproof. You won't see this tin, you won't be aware of it or anything. At the moment, it looks a bit embarrassing.
In Arncliffe, it's the big pumpkin finale at the former Woolpack. It's time to see if Joan's unique poo soup will win her a rosette.
You ready? It isn't even a handful, is it? What a nurtured little pumpkin you are.
Pumpkins are arriving from uphill and downdale.
I'm suspecting that there'll be one for the best one. There might be a funny shape one. Here we go. And then there might be a booby. Yeah, the size of mine.
But the secret Mackenzie entry has had to travel across the village green on wheels. Phew.
God. Well, it is a size, that, Carol. This is where it's all happening. What?
Nice work, you brought that here.
It's a participation, isn't it, Stephen?
Out of the way! Judging's going to commence.
And look at the size of that one. The biggest by far has been produced by what Dales folk call an off-Cumden.
Well, I look upon an off-Cumden as somebody who comes from away. An off-Cumden, yeah, somebody who doesn't understand it all.
Ready?
This off-Cumden seems to know about growing pumpkins.
Yeah, we come from Harrogate, so it's an off-Cumden pumpkin, and the weather is maybe slightly better in Harrogate, and the pumpkin is very orange, so they tell me it's ripened, whatever that means.
£65.
Is that all it weighs?
No, it's all its weighing.
Hang on. Must weigh more.
It must weigh more than that. Yeah, it's because it's on your belly.
Even though they can't grow quite as good pumpkins as we can in Harrogate, I would swap Arncliffe for Harrogate any day.
115, and I've still got hold of it.
That's about 8 stone to you and me. And the rest?
£19.
The community things that we do are great, and they've got to carry on. Is this your better side, dear? I'm passionate about living here and being part of it. There's something about this village, there's something about these dales. It's been a godsend to me.
Right, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
it's been one fantastic evening. It's a credit to you all. What show of vegetables in there.
pumpkins or the customers?
Got some good news and some bad news. Good news is we're still here, and bad news is Mackenzie's won again.
Oh, no.
Mrs. Mackenzie won for being the heaviest local, and Mr. Mackenzie came first for the largest girth. And the disaster class?
So in third place, with its little effort, was John Middleton.
Thank you ever so much. I'm thrilled to bits. Thank you. Two beauties.
Oh, hell.
In the next programme,
This will be difficult.
Roy sells his best boys. And will the wedding go to plan?
He's nervous but he's excited.